Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 977 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today we're going to talk about great AI prompts. Now, I don't claim to be any kind of big expert, but I can tell you that the better stuff you put into AI, the better stuff you get out. So I'll give you a formula for that I learned off of this other guy. All right, let's see. Hope you didn't miss episode 976. That was AI hallucinations. And this is where you learn to protect yourself from AI biases and AI just making crap up out of thin air and making you look stupid for depending on it. So that was 976. Anytime you want to get to a back episode, you go to screwthecommute.com/ and then the episode number. That was 976. And pick up a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. You will thank me for it if you even use a portion of what's in this book. We sell it for $27, but it's yours free for listening to the show. Also, check out my mentor program, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and my school, imtcva.org, where you can get a highly in-demand education in as little as 6 months. All right. A lot of you know I'm not crazy about AI. That's all you hear about nowadays. Everybody crawls out from a rock and is an expert on it. I get that. It's on everybody's mind, but if my philosophy that served me well over many, many years, 31 years now online, is that I use dull edge technology. In other words, I let everybody figure out all the glitches and the pains in the neck and all the crap from the new technology, and then I swoop in and make money with it. All right. So I don't claim to be any big expert on this, but I just use it sparingly. And if I'm going to use it, just like I'm going to teach you today, you might as well get the best out of it. All right. Here's the deal. A prompt is what you ask of your AI. A lot of you have heard of ChatGPT. All right. So we'll just use that one. So the first thing I learned, and this guy's name is Dan Von Rossum, and seems like a nice guy, knowledgeable guy, but these kinds of people are a dime a dozen nowadays, just coming out of the woodwork. So I'm just giving you what I learned from him, and it's not the only way, but it's probably better than what you're doing now, for sure. So the first thing he said is when you're creating a super prompt or a great prompt is to be nice. And it's like you're talking to a friend rather than a computer. And the reason that he gave it is because in case AI becomes sentient. Now, I looked up the definition of sentient, and that's something that's capable of feeling or perceiving sensations or being conscious of their surroundings, of experiencing emotions like pleasure, pain, and fear. So his idea is that, hey, you might as well just be nice in your prompts. So if they do become sentient, they'll say, oh, you're a nice guy. We'll work harder for you. All right. Now, whether that's true or not, I have no idea. It never hurts to be nice, though, first. Now, I can be really, really nasty, but I'm always nice first. So that's one way to start your prompt out. So and this is what I learned from this guy. He says, dear, let's say ChatGPT, if that's what you're using, I need your help and I appreciate your expertise. So you're being nice, basically. But then he gives you specific things to fill in the blanks, to give AI more exacting things of what you're looking for. So the first thing he says is to tell the AI, please imagine you are. And then you fill in the blank. Please imagine you are a dog trainer. Please imagine you are an engineer. So it gives a perspective for AI to look from to help you with what you're looking for. And then the next thing he says is, tell it, I need to, and then give your goal, which I need to create a report on tensile strength of dog collars in Africa. Whatever you're trying to get, you put that in there. I need to. And then you give the chat thing some do's and don'ts. So you should concentrate on dog collars in Africa, and then please avoid any dog collars that cost more than, I don't know what the thing is, rands or something, more than $82 each. So you give it do's and don'ts, and you can do multiple things, any of these do's and don'ts. And then you tell it how urgent it is, because if you give it more time, it can search further. So you say the urgency is 1 week from today. The urgency is 3 hours from now, I have to provide this report. So tell it how urgent it is. And then tell it the final output should be, let's say, a PDF file or a CSV file or a bunch of images or whatever it happens to be you're looking for. Then you really help it out and say, here's what I have so far. And you can usually upload a PDF file, or, for instance, I'm doing this research on on shopping cart systems because the one I've been promoting for years is shutting down. So a lot of people are going to be coming after me to say, hey, what should we do? So I put a very detailed prompt in to narrow down the hundreds of shopping cart systems to have the features that I know that are important so that I can hone in on them and start evaluating them to finally pick one for all the people that are using Kickstart Cart. So what I did was I uploaded all the carts I had already, started looking at so that it could, get something to work with. And then I also told it, here's the criteria that I want to have happen. In other words, it has to be usable on multiple websites, and it has to have an affiliate program, and it has to have coupons, and just all the things that I know shopping carts need. And so I put that prompt in, and boy, did I get great results compared to just saying, hey, tell me, give me a bunch of shopping cart systems, online shopping cart systems. So the better stuff you put in, the better stuff you're going to get out. So just to break this down again, be nice. Tell it to imagine who they are so they have a perspective of which way they're coming from. Tell them what you need to accomplish, a report or a list or whatever it is. Give them do's, what they should do and what they shouldn't do. Please avoid X, Y, and Z, and please look for ABC, whatever it is, do's and don'ts. Tell them how urgent it is, and then tell them the final output should be what format you want it in, and then give them everything you've got so far. And yeah, that's a lot of work compared to just saying, hey, give me a list of shopping carts. Well, this thing narrowed it down to a lot of those criteria that I wanted so that I didn't have to review hundreds of carts. It narrowed it down to 20 or 30, which is a lot of work to review these carts. See, so the better time and effort you can put into a prompt, the better results you're going to get. And then once the results come in, you can say, oh, that's great, but could you give me X, Y, and Z extra on this? Or could you delete any things that do X, Y, and Z? See, so you can keep refining the results, but the first results are going to be way better than just some general thing where they have no idea what perspective to come from, where you're coming from, how to output the results to you, anything. So this is a great, it's not the only format, but this is what I learned from Mr. Van Rossum in the course I took from him. And I tried it myself, and it, really worked way better than me just asking for a bunch of shopping cart systems. All right, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Check out our mentor program, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, the longest running, most successful, most unique ever in the field of internet and digital marketing. And I usually triple dog dare anybody to put their program up against mine because they wouldn't be embarrassed to do it, because it's been running for 28 years now, something like that. And no complaints, no lawsuits, that kind of stuff. So check it out at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and also check out my school at imtcva.org. All right, we'll catch you on the next episode. See you later.